to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. Jason calls so you spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Well, hello and good morning. Welcome to the KVJ show. Happy Monday. How you guys doing? Yeah.
Happy Monday.
It is good to see you guys, and it's good to be back in the studio.
It's weird, man.
Yeah, it is, right?
I'm so used to seeing you guys on the computer. You look great in person.
I know. My gosh, it has been a long time. So we are back in studio, not at home.
After the computer problems I had on Friday, I was like done. It made me so sad.
Yeah, and
then I came in here and have computer problems.
I totally get it. I with your computer problems and all my drinking problems during the quarantine, I'm glad to get back.
Yeah.
Back to home base here.
You don't have as much booze here, maybe.
Yeah, we don't.
It's hard to work from an area so close to your booze and your snacks.
Yeah, I hear you.
And resist.
Well, we are back in. Unfortunately, my computer is not working.
Me neither.
Today, so we got computer problems of a different variety. So unfortunately, I ironically, I think I have to go home and do the show from home here in a little bit.
So all three of us are locked out of our computers.
Yeah. So
did we get fired?
I think we might all have to go home. So ironically, we came in here just for this, and then I think we're gonna have to retreat back to our places. Yeah.
So day one back is going great.
Day one is not going to happen, yeah. So I do apologize. Just, I guess it's what you expect here.
2020, Corona, bruh.
Yeah.
Look, it's not KVJ unless something's gone wrong.
I guess. Yeah, if we don't have massive amounts of technical problems, it just doesn't feel right, does it? No. So here we go. So another curveball thrown at us. So I guess that's what we're going to deal with. So I apologize again. We thought everything was going to be good, but it's not good. So we're going to try to do that, and we'll try to get whatever show we can on for you today.
Dang, Kevin gave his computer Corona.
I do have hot, fresh
and I wasn't
dirt.
even here. That's the amazing part.
If you want hot, fresh dirt, I do have that for you.
Yeah, we'll do dirt. We'll kind of get that going on. I don't have anything else here in front of me for the show.
I mean, we can just do back-to-back dirt. I know Jaybird wants
4 hours
that.
of dirt.
Wow, the dirt's the only thing working around here. I got plenty of things. Today's Hoagie Day. I mean, I have a lot of things to talk about.
Okay. All right. Very nice.
Hoagie?
No.
Okay. So here we are. We're at least here for a couple of minutes, and we'll do a dirt for you. Sound good?
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, coming up in just a second. Uh-oh. The NBA bubble has been broken.
Oh, it has? Again?
Somebody's trying to break the rules up in Orlando.
Okay.
I'll tell you what happened. And what do you think? What do you think was the temptation of one of the players?
Oh, it's got to be the ladies.
It's the ladies. I'll tell you who did it and what was done to break that bubble coming up in just a second. Before we get into that, it looks like the whole TikTok thing is a done deal. TikTok is going to be sold to Oracle, and the Bay Area-based tech company will be now the new owner of TikTok. Microsoft was trying to get it, but I guess they were arguing about price with TikTok, and they couldn't come to terms. So Microsoft is out, and now Oracle, it sounds like, is going to buy TikTok.
Okay.
Have you always thought it'd be cool to stay in that home that was featured on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? It's a beautiful mansion.
Yeah.
Now you may be able to do just that. The mansion is hitting Airbnb for a limited time. You can actually rent the place. It's gorgeous.
It's $9,000 per hour.
Yeah. None of us can afford it, but it looks super sweet. Out in California, that Airbnb is getting a bunch of fancy places, and it's like a limited release, and all the money goes to charity, so it's really sweet.
What do you guys think they're going to do with the Fresh Prince, the reboot? What do you think they're going to do with the theme song? Because that's iconic. Everyone loves it. Do they keep it, or is it completely different?
The tone's different, right? They would have to change up the lyrics.
They would have to make it a little bit grittier to match the show.
It wouldn't match.
No, definitely not. And finally here, as promised, the Houston Rockets have a player that, I guess horniness just got the best of him. Daniel House is his name, and he got busted inviting a female back to his room on September 8th. It sounds like players are only allowed to have authorized guests in their hotel room, and she was not authorized and not approved by the league. So they, I guess, busted him. I mean, there's cameras in the hallways of every hotel.
That's what happens. Even when you just don't think straight, Virginia.
Daniel, nobody here is judging you. The Houston Rockets may, but KVJ is not judging you, Daniel.
Well, luckily they've been eliminated, so he can go pick up all the ladies he likes now.
Oh, okay, go have fun, my friend.
Go, get out of the bubble.
They're gone.
And that's what's going on in your dirt of the day.
It's time for viral audio.
So hide your kids, hide your wife.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It was so nice to have some football to watch this weekend. Wow, it was great.
It really was.
Yeah, very cool to see. I was excited to see the Canes. They played last week, and then you had the Dolphins yesterday. They were on TV against the Patriots, and it was a decent game, but unfortunately the Dolphins did not get the win. They lose 21-11. Ryan Fitzpatrick had a couple costly interceptions that kind of did the Dolphins in, and without Tom Brady, Cam Newton looked like he did all right.
Yeah, how weird was it to see Cam Newton as a Patriot?
Yeah.
And then to see Tom Brady as a Buccaneer. You're like, what the hell?
Did Cam Newton crush it?
He did pretty well, yeah, and the Patriots looked a little bit different. They kind of molded the offense to his skill set. He runs a good bit more than Tom Brady ever did, and so they had a little bit of a different look. So will they be as explosive? You don't really know at this point how good anybody is.
Of course, he had to start a fight, though, at the end of the game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got into it a little bit with a couple of Dolphins defensive players. There was, a little grab handing going on there. Kyle Van Noy for the Dolphins was involved, as well as a couple other players. Julian Edelman and Rex Burkhead had to kind of break it up. Apparently, looked like Christian Wilkins went for his chains, Cam Newton's chains, and maybe ripped it off because Cam Newton was looking around the turf for possibly one of his chains.
My favorite is when football players get into a fight and they're punching each other in the helmet. I'm like, guys, I don't think they can feel it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the one guy from the Browns that just took his helmet off and hit the guy in the head.
I saw that.
Yeah, that happened previous year. Tom Brady, yeah, he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and odd for Tom Brady. He really kind of cost his team the game. He threw a pick six and was kind of underwhelming as the Buccaneers lost to Virginia Saints 34-23.
He started good. I mean, the first few plays,
started out all right. Yeah,
first
his first
quarter,
drive was good.
First drive was good. I was like, uh-oh, this is not good. And then I don't know what happened. The Brady magic just fell apart.
Yeah, it did.
It was weird. It was very weird to see Tom Brady in a Tampa Bay uniform. It was just like, up 2020.
Yep.
And O.J. Howard fakes the handoff. He's under pressure. Throws over. No, that ball's intercepted at the 50. Coming back with it at the 45 is Marcus Williams, and he's taken down just shy of the 35-yard line. And Tom Brady with an overthrow. Motion again to the right. Brady takes a gun snap, quick throw near side. It's picked up. Janoris Jenkins, 15, 10, 3, 2, 1, touchdown. Janoris Jenkins. It looked easy. The ball was behind.
There you go. So Tom Brady with his first game as a Buccaneer and his first loss as a Buccaneer. But it was just really good to have some football on this weekend.
There'll be a documentary about him, about how he's down and out, and Tom. No one believes in Tom no more.
Don't underestimate Tom Brady, y'all.
Yeah.
This was his first game with a new team, and he still was in the hunt against the Saints.
I'm calling it right now. There'll be a big documentary about how no one believes in Brady.
Well, the one thing I noticed, they will not give a Patriots score without the Buccaneers score. So they are going to be, latched everything they do this entire year. How did Tom Brady do versus how the Patriots do?
Fascinating.
Patriots get a win and Tom Brady gets a loss.
Want to see what Virginia looks like on camera? And Kevin and Jason? YouTube.com/KVJ Show.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you think about today, Jaybird?
I want to wish you both a happy National Hoagie Day.
Okay,
If I
thank
could,
you.
could I please summon up a Fat Kevin?
Sure.
Fat Kevin, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So I want to ask you both, if health or calories are not a factor and you
Yeah.
are just going to get fat and sassy, what is your ideal hoagie?
To me, I like them. I like them wet, and so I went to a place called Portillo's in Chicago, and they did kind of like a beef. And it had a whole bunch of cheese on it, and then they just pour a bunch of au jus all over it.
Yes, I'm the same. There's a place in New Orleans called Mother's.
Yeah, I've been there. It's great.
And they do
Shrimp po' boys, right?
They do po' boys. But my favorite is the debris. And what it is, it's like you just said, it's the roast beef. It's all kind of shredded meats.
Go slow,
but it's
mama.
Juicy.
Yeah.
They simmer in their own juice all day,
Yeah.
these meats. And you add a bunch of provolone cheese.
Yeah.
And then they dip the whole entire sandwich.
Right.
I love a sandwich you can dip. I mean, you guys know how I
Yeah,
am.
dipping is fun.
There's a name for that. That when you're talking with the au jus sauce, I thought they had an actual name for that type of sub, and it's escaping my mind.
At Mother's, it's called debris, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Everywhere else. Portillo's is great too. You can order Portillo's. My dad got us Portillo's last year. It came for Christmas in a cooler. It was all packed. It had everything, the little peppers, it had the beef, it had the au jus, it had the bread. All you do is just wham, just heat it up and make it in your own kitchen.
And there really is an art to making a sub. There's some people that they'll take the meat, they'll take all of the vegetables and all of your condiments, and they'll put that on. And then at the very end, they'll try to wrap the cheese around everything. And when you take a bite, the cheese to meat to condiment ratio is all off. You gotta make sure.
Balance is everything. And if you can, please try to melt the cheese before you hand me the sandwich. If it's supposed to be hot, I don't want to taste cold cheese.
Yeah, there's definitely do's and don'ts. Some of the don'ts that I've seen, sometimes when you're getting a sub, if you're getting mayo and mustard, what people will do is they'll kind of just put it in the middle and they don't spread it all out. And
It's lazy.
It is lazy. So then you're eating like the first part of your sandwich and there's really not much condiments. Then you get in the middle. It's a sea of condiments. It's not mixed well. That's one of the don'ts I would like to go ahead and say.
Okay.
One of the do's you should do, try to get your sub toasted. It takes it to that next level, but do not get your veggies toasted. It dries them out. Get the veggies put on after the toasting.
Good tips.
Yes.
On
And
National Hoagie Day.
just make sure, too, if you are getting mayonnaise, some people like to undercover give you Miracle Whip. And that, in my opinion, is a crime.
People still using that, huh?
People still use Miracle Whip, and they try to act like it's real mayonnaise, and it's just not true.
Wow.
What's the price difference? I mean, what's the advantage? Is it that much cheaper?
No, it's not. In fact, I think Miracle Whip might be even a little bit more money. It's so disgusting. It doesn't even it doesn't taste like mayonnaise. It tastes like some kind of, I don't know, some kind of crap. And the other don't, I would say, if you're at a sub place and you see a roast beef with a hologram looking sheen on it, don't eat that roast beef. And that happens a lot in the sub industry.
Old beef.
Oh, I don't know if it's old, but for whatever reason, roast beef does this odd rainbow sheen thing on its meats. Kind of like how the ham will have gel on it sometimes. Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Virginia, what you got on your mind today?
Man, y'all see this Hurricane Sally? It snuck up on us as a disturbance over the weekend. And it was like, wait a minute, what? I didn't know this was about to happen. And now it's about to be a hurricane going right to New Orleans.
Yeah, is it Cat 1, something like that?
Cat 1, Cat 2, they don't know. They keep going back and forth. But, I mean, it is just making a beeline for Bourbon Street.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
They're struggling, man. So pray for my friends and family in New Orleans because they're having fights in the city because the mayor won't let the bars and restaurants be open.
Oh, really?
Like, they're having drama.
Well, I mean, that's the one city you don't mess with their bars.
Well, my best friend owns a bar in the French Quarter, so I'm intimately familiar with how all of this is going down. And the mayor, who's not even from New Orleans, she's saying that, you know, no one can be open past like 11 o'clock, I think, is the curfew for serving.
Yeah.
And you can't serve unless you're a restaurant, so everybody has to be a full service restaurant. And like, it's it's just killing the bars in the French Quarter.
So if it's a strip club, you better be serving some chicken fingers.
And I mean, they don't have a kitchen.
And the other thing,
a lot of them do not have a kitchen.
And what strip club doesn't get popping past 11 p? That's when it gets going.
Exactly. So it's been really, really rough. And on top of all that, now they have a hurricane coming. So wow.
Yeah. How are they doing with their coronavirus numbers and everything in Louisiana and New Orleans especially?
So they spiked pretty early because of Mardi Gras, because it's an international holiday. People from all over the world came to New Orleans and gave Corona to everybody. And they've spiked already. Everywhere else in the state is now spiking, but New Orleans numbers have been relatively lower than the rest of the state.
Okay. And yet they still have those restrictions, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I know that's a little bit of a fight. In fact, I've got some friends that are in the bar and service industry and all that stuff, and they were sending me a petition over the weekend that I retweeted out because here was the thing. Today's the day when the state can go into phase 2 for the bars, but they're not going to allow Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade bars to open up, and there's still some restriction on that. And it's just one of those things, the regulations, there's just so much stuff. If you go down the line, like, why can you do this and you can't do that?
Right.
Why is COVID doesn't exist when this happens, but it exists here? And
it kind of makes no sense, some of the rules.
Yes.
And if people want to go to the bar and take that risk, I mean, you should let the adults make their choice and let them go.
I'm all about that. I'm all about, put on your big boy pants, make your life decisions, know what your unique situations are for your health and your family's health, and you make decisions accordingly.
Well, the thing you're talking about, some things make sense, some things don't. And then when you question that, some people question you. Man, just go along with the program.
No.
Quit being so difficult. I'm sorry. I like to question things that don't make sense to me.
Americans have never done that. That's what America's about. We got a fighting spirit, and we love our freedom, and we don't like people telling us what to do.
Well, when something doesn't feel right in your gut, that's when you should be at least allowed to question it without being shouted down from a holy hill.
Yeah. There are a lot of things that are necessary and do make sense. The things that don't make sense are the ones that get called into question.
Where's this holy hill? I want to go.
I'm too fat to climb it.
They've got bars throughout the state open today at 50% capacity, minus Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade.
Why are we not?
City council people, they don't feel like we should be doing that. And the thing that's just silly about it is a lot of bars have adapted, and they're offering, like, they'll give you 3 peanuts, and they try to call themselves a restaurant, and so they're, trying to wiggle around it just to survive. But I got a friend of mine, he has a place, and he's like, yeah, I got a lot of our wait staff, like, they're living in their cars now, and it's getting to the point where it's getting tough for a lot of people out there. I heard a lot of stories from over the weekend of people that are in the service industry, and it's just the point. If you're not in the service industry, it probably doesn't mean anything to you.
Right.
Of course. It never does unless it affects you.
But the stories that I heard, I'm like, this is tough. It's getting too tough, and it's been too tough for too long for too many people. So all that kind of stuff is kind of changing today. So I tweeted that out, and they're trying to do people to sign off and say, look, please just let us do what the rest of the state is doing. And the numbers from yesterday, just to let you know, the numbers from yesterday in the state of Florida, and even looking at the counties, Palm Beach County's positivity rate yesterday was 3.25%. They told us when you get to 5 and under, then you can start swinging back open.
Are other places in the country that are below 5%, are they open?
Well, they just keep changing
Everybody's
the rules.
different.
They keep changing the rules.
Because the local government decides, and every town has different local government.
You can't do it where you said, if you guys are good and get it to 5 or below, we'll open things up and you can start doing stuff. And okay, we did. And then like, well, no, we changed that. And like, no, like my livelihood, my life, having money, paying for my bills, things like that is relying on this. And you gave me a goal and I met the goal, and now the goal's changed.
And that is weird. Y'all said 5%.
It is weird that it changed with that, and it's weird that's just the 3 counties too. It's
just like I said, if the numbers backed it up, okay. But Broward was at 3% yesterday. There were 8 deaths in the state. Like, what are we doing? That's where it just that starts to really, and they were coming at me on Friday, and I understood their frustration. I'm like, I feel you. I understand why you're frustrated and what's going on. This is your life.
Oh yeah, if you're living in a car and you have to, make a 3-peanut menu just to survive, it's tough.
A lot of these places are great. A lot of these bar owners are like, look, you're family, and we're trying to help you out, and we're taking you under wing. We're feeding you, and we're trying to help you with bills, and community comes together, and they try to survive all this. But yeah, there's just some stuff where I'm like, okay, you said 5%, and they did it. And then you changed it.
But don't say 5% if you're not going to do 5%.
Because
we believed you.
We were gunning for that. We were like, this is the mark. The mark was met, and then the game changed. The rules changed.
Do they have another, so when we get to 2.5%?
No, there's just nothing. It's just there's no, I don't know, whenever we feel like it. So you don't know. So you just keep living in your car and just trying to guess on how you are supposed to survive.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. So that's it. What I got on my mind today, kind of a little tip. If you're a person like me, it's the weirdest thing. Mosquitoes love me. They don't go after my wife. We, for some reason, have a congregation of mosquitoes out. I don't know why they do, but they sit out front of our front door waiting to get in. And my wife and I yesterday were standing at the front door, and here's the 4 or 5 mosquitoes that are buzzing around. And they go right past her, and they latch onto me. I'm like, what is
You're
it?
a mosquito beacon.
I am a mosquito beacon. I mean, they
You're
flew,
like a lighthouse for
they
skeeters.
flew past her, and they just jumped on me and started sucking my blood.
She's even closer to them.
She was an easier target, and they just they bypassed right past her.
You must have some kind of sweet blood or sweet skin or salty something they love.
I've gone through the lists, and I think it's blood type. It's how much this and that. It's
really bright too.
everything.
You're like a human reflector to these little mosquitoes.
There's a checklist of what makes you attracted to mosquitoes, and I check off every box. Every
10 out of 10 on the list.
10 out of 10. I'm 10 out of 10 on the delicious scale. So you might need this because what stinks for me is, going outside now, especially this time of year, you always have to process, okay, how many mosquito bites will I come back in with? And then when you're trying to sleep at night, you ever have that where you're just, and to me,
there's one in your bedroom.
Well, no, I'm saying the bites that you have that itch, and you're trying to sleep past. So here's kind of my little hack to share with people if you're a mosquito magnet like me. They say rubbing an itch instead of scratching it can ease the irritation more quickly. So rub, don't scratch, because I have done that where you scratch, and then you just, as soon as you start scratching, you get on that, you have to scratch all night long.
I feel so good though, Kevin. Then I go to the bathtub and let the hot water just hit that little
I'll do
bite.
that sometimes too. And in fact, I think the hot water may not be a bad idea. And what they're saying, I think it's kind of on the same rationale. When you itch, when you scratch it, you get satisfaction for about 8 seconds. And you're like, I gotta scratch again. But they say rubbing the itch, it's the way that it works with the nerve endings. They say that rubbing it activates a soothing pathway from the spinal cord. It is actually better to your brain and your body than it is scratching it. So rub it, or just, almost like you're massaging that area, and then what it does to the nerve ending, because it's the nerve ending going crazy. And that's what you got to do. So if you're a person like me, I tried that experiment this weekend. Like on Friday, I was scratching, and then I read that, and then on Saturday, I was rubbing, and I'm like, got to sleep. I'm like, okay, I got to share this hack.
It'd be nice, too, if you get someone else to rub you. It's never the same when you rub yourself. It's like when you make yourself a sandwich. It never tastes as good as when someone else makes one for you.
Yeah, if you ask your wife to rub your mosquito bites, will you please record you asking her?
Yeah, I'm probably not going to go anywhere.
I just like to hear the shoot down.
Yeah, that would be entertaining.
Okay. Let me see. Coming up here on the KVJ show, got a little musical fact or fiction for you. Always like delving up some stuff, and I'll get to it coming up next.
It's time to gain some knowledge. You learn more here than you would in college. We're the smartest radio station. We are the leaders in education. Is it truth? Is it lies? Kevin's the host. He's got beady eyes. Fact or fiction?
All right, let's see here. I got some musical trivia for you today on the show. Virginia, going to start off with you here, see how much you know. Fact or fiction. Nicole Scherzinger. She never actually sang when she was in the Pussycat Dolls.
Oh, that's not true.
You're going to say that's not true?
Fiction.
You're going to say that is fiction? You think that she did sing, huh?
I do.
Okay, you are correct.
Yeah, I've seen her sing before.
She's the total package. She looks beautiful, but she can sing.
Yeah, no, she can. In fact, when she was in the Pussycat Dolls and you're wondering why she left, she did 95% of their vocals.
Whoa.
There was so much drama with the Pussycat Dolls. There's this one video where they're on stage and one of the girls finally speaks out to the crowd. She defends the other girls. It's good.
All right, Jaybird, what do you think here? Fact or fiction? Dolly Parton once entered a drag queen celebrity impersonator contest as herself and lost.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. Yes. No, you're not kind. You look nothing like Dolly
She
Parton.
lost that herself.
That's funny.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Okay, let's see here. Fact or fiction? What do you think about this? Harry Styles has 3 nipples. Fact or fiction, Virginia?
I think Harry Styles does have 3 nipples. Yeah, I'm going to say fact.
Gonna say fact. You're close, but you're wrong because he has 4.
4?
Yeah, Harry Styles has 4 nipples.
Well, at that point, you're a dog.
Yeah, you're a puppy belly.
Yeah, that is. That's an udder, isn't it?
That is.
And who wouldn't like to pet a little scratch his little tummy?
What about this, Jaybird? Musical fact or fiction? Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury supposedly had a falling out because Michael Jackson brought his pet llama to the recording studio.
A man after your own heart.
Man,
you do love llamas.
Oh, gosh. I want that to be so true. I'm going to go, that's a fact.
You're going to go with the fact?
I am.
That is a fact.
Yay!
That did happen.
I think Freddie had some beef with with a few people. Him and David Bowie didn't get along during the recording of Under Pressure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Fact or fiction here. Virginia, fact or fiction? The Backstreet Boys were named after a gay club that their founder Lou Pearlman used to frequent in Orlando. Is that fact or fiction?
I don't know this one. Purely a guess. I'm going to say fact.
You're going to go with fact on that? That is fiction. No, the Backstreet Boys, it was an outdoor flea market in Orlando called the Backstreet Market. And I guess the teenagers would hang out there in the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
And that's where they got the name for that.
The Backstreet Market sounds like there's some shady things going on over there.
Yeah, I don't know if I did. If my teenagers are like, I'm going to go hang out at the Backstreet Market, I'm like, oh, no, you do not.
No, you are not going to that.
That's definitely where you go to buy, like, weed.
Oh, you buy more than weed at the Backstreet Market.
Speaking of which, Jaybird, fact or fiction, Because I Got High by Afro Man was nominated for the Grammy for Best Rap Solo Performance in 2002.
Fiction.
You're going to say fiction?
That's fiction.
Okay. No, it's a fact.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nominated. It did not win. It lost out to Missy Elliott's Get Your Freak On.
Okay, Get Your Freak On should have won.
Yeah, it's a great song.
All right, Virginia, fact or fiction here, final one. Mariah Carey had #1 singles for 11 straight years. 11 straight years.
Fact.
Yeah, she had to have.
Killing it.
Yeah, it started with Vision of Love in 1990 and it ended with Thank God I Found You in 2000.
I don't even know how that one go. How's that one go?
I don't know.
Huge fan, everybody.
I don't know that one. I can get down on Vision of Love now.
That is my cut.
That still, to this day, is my favorite Mariah song.
All right, Jaybird, your final shot at this here. What do you think, fact or fiction? Hall & Oates were the only 2 members that were left from a boy band that Elvis Presley's manager, Colonel Parker, was trying to put together. Is that fact or fiction?
That's fiction.
You're going to say fiction on that? That is correct. Have you heard the story how they met, though?
No.
They met at a concert in Philadelphia in the elevator after avoiding gunshots from a gang fight.
Oh my gosh.
That's how Hall & Oates met?
Yes, they both ran into the elevator to avoid the gunshots they heard ringing out after the concert. And they started talking, like going, hey, you go to Temple University? Yeah, I do too. And then they became friends and started making music together.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
Pretty cool little story,
Yeah.
huh? So that's the truth about it. So there you go. That's some of your musical fact or fiction. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes on the KVJ show, a fun little list of things boomers think are cool that really aren't.
Aww.
Well, this is something I thought was interesting. This is the 15 things boomers think are cool that really aren't.
Uh-oh. So how many on this list have we been thinking are cool all this time?
Well, we're not boomers, first
No,
of
we're
all.
not.
Okay,
We're not
even close.
boomers.
We're not that old yet, all right?
But
Quit making me older than what I am. I just look like a boomer.
Things they're holding on to, how do you feel about it? One, cursive. They love cursive. They were taught cursive back in the day, and they say that cursive is one of those things that's really kind of going out of style because people don't write as much anymore, and especially not in cursive.
you're right.
I kind of have like a hybrid of cursive and then print. It's all kind of screwed up.
Well, to me, cursive, I don't like, and I think it's unnecessary. And the other part about it is not a lot of people write cursive well. Like, I can't read cursive that easily. I would rather have letters. Sometimes when I'm reading cursive, I'm like, is that a T or an L? Is that an R or a C? I don't even know.
I feel like they spent so much time teaching us cursive in elementary school. For years, I felt like
Yeah.
you had to get it. They used to grade you on cursive handwriting. I got an N, not satisfactory, for 5 years in a row.
You
can
got
see
an
that.
N for nope.
For cursive. I'm like, baby, let me print. I'm a print guy.
Yeah, I believe in it too, and they are still holding on to it. They go, our kids today. The problem with the kids today is they can't write cursive.
No, the schools don't teach it at all anymore, right?
I haven't seen my kids do it.
Rocco's at the age where he's just starting to do penmanship,
Yeah.
but it's just regular basic letters. There's no cursive going on
Okay,
yet.
because I think when they started us that age, like you started really early on cursive.
Big time. It was such a big. You had to buy the cursive type print to make sure, like they would make big old cursive print. You'd have to buy at the bookstore,
Yeah.
to get it to
To
line
trace
to
it.
line. Oh, it's
Yeah.
terrible. Hated it.
China plates. Oh, we're going to break out the fine china tonight, Kevin, and have a fancy dinner.
My grandma gave me all of her fine china, and I don't use it that often because I don't want to break it.
I don't use it because, one, I don't have it, and two, I don't know when I would use it.
I use it for like Thanksgiving. I use it if we're having people over, which we haven't had in months. So I use it for special things, just like Grandma did. But if Grandma hadn't given me hers,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out and buy fine china. I don't think.
It's the sign of a formal era that we're just not that formal anymore.
We were garage sale people. We got them at garage sales. We always had used plates.
I like a nice white plate, but China's expensive.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drop that kind of cash.
Other things boomers think are cool that really aren't: linoleum flooring, shag carpets, and patterned wallpaper.
I kind of like pattern wallpaper.
Me too.
I think that's pretty cool.
Patterned wallpaper is coming back.
And I don't hate a throwback look of a room. The shag carpet I get if it's throughout the entire house. But if you have a room kind of throwback style, I don't hate the shag carpet.
Okay, all right. It really drinks up smells and stains and.
Yeah, you can't drink your Kool-Aid and eat your turkey in there.
I just remember as a kid laying on a shag carpet going, "This thing smells terrible."
Oh yeah, because the dinner's in there.
Oh my God, it's just an awful smell. Other things that boomers think are cool that aren't: landlines and phone books. A lot of people kind of giving both of those things up. Writing checks.
Yeah.
You can write cursive on a check.
If anybody is still requiring you to give them a check, seriously, get Venmo.
Every now and then, though, someone will give you a hard time. There's some people that's afraid of the electronical banking. They're afraid that it's going to get zapped out of their account. They're old school and they want a check.
I was checking out of the hotel in Nashville and I didn't have any cash on me. And the valet goes, "Don't worry, I'll take Venmo." I was like, "Oh, that's easy." So
Yeah.
I Venmo'd him money. money. Like, everybody is
Right.
coming to Venmo. You really need to look into it, boomers.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Venmo has made my life so easy.
Thank you.
You've got home shopping channels. Another thing boomers love that aren't that cool anymore. Jello salad.
That was never cool.
I don't know why, but I nostalgically love the green Jello with the suspended grapes that are just in it.
Yeah, right.
I still do
Just
love
floating
that.
in there.
Just for the nostalgia.
That Jello salad was so big in the 80s, man. I feel like everyone
Yeah.
had Jello salad back then.
And they would put like a little nest of cottage cheese under the
Yeah,
Jello
they would.
So
salad.
gnarly,
They
man.
were.
Thank God we've moved away from that.
My grandma would make an orange Jello salad with carrots in it.
Oh, that's terrible.
I hated it.
Grandma,
It was so awful.
why would you put carrots in
And
it?
she tried to tell a little fat kid myself that was dessert. I'm like, that ain't dessert. You ain't fooling me. That's not dessert. I know better. Encyclopedias, things boomers think are cool that really aren't. Bar soap. Avon. My grandma loved Avon.
To go back to the bar soap is really gross, especially if you
It is.
live with a bunch of people and then you grab the soap and there's hair embedded into the soap.
You'd always play that. What kind of hair is that? What part of the body is that hair from?
I mean, when
and you
you,
usually knew it wasn't a.
well, if you have 7 people in the house, eventually you're going to get a curly hair.
You know it's one of Dad's short and curly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it was that too, and you didn't know how other people took about their hygiene and where that soap had been.
Yeah, some people like to take the bar soap and stick it up their hind part.
Yeah, I don't want that. Meatloaf, fuzzy toilet seat covers, transition lenses, and unpaid internships. It says.
Transition lenses, is that when you walk outside? I
And
feel like
your lenses get dark.
I feel like that makes a person age by 10 years when you wear them.
Got any birthdays you want on the KVJ show? You can just send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com, and we'll be happy to give you a shout out. It's basically that simple here. Let me see. I'm trying to check and see. I have to do the entire show from my phone today.
Me too.
Yeah.
Our computers are all broken.
Yeah, so it's a little bit challenging. So
You haven't missed a step.
until now. So if you ever have one you want to get on the show, you can just let us know, and we'll be happy to give you the hookup. All right, you ready to think fast here on a Monday? That's what we got for you. See if we can get your brains up and going here today. We're back in studio, which is nice to see everybody. And boy, Denny's hair, it's one of those things you just really, truly got to see it in person to appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. It's got a lot of volume this morning.
It does.
Yes, she's full.
Yeah.
You look like the Lion King.
Yeah,
Oh,
he does.
yes.
I love it.
Amazing. Okay, here we go. Think fast. Let me try to find it on my phone here.
Yeah.
Think fast, find slow.
Think fast, work slow.
I can't work quickly today, unfortunately. So
Do you want me to go to your place, pick up your laptop?
I don't really know.
I can get into your house, believe
Well, I got
me.
my family there. They might be alarmed.
Why is Jaybird crawling through the kitchen window?
Okay, here we go. I got it now. Off my phone. All right, let's see here. Think fast. All righty. We got first one here. You just go ahead and say something when you think you've got a right answer. Suits is going to help me judge here when somebody is in, when somebody is out. First one I've got for you. All right, think fast. A controversial candy that starts with the letter L.
Licorice!
Lollipops.
Ooh.
We go with bird and licorice. That works for me.
Yeah.
Pulled a rib muscle on that one.
Okay, next up. Something you'll find in a bathtub that begins with the letter L.
Loofah.
Yeah, vicious V.
Loofah's kind of gross.
Loofah is disgusting.
Just,
I threw one away the other day, and I looked on the bottom of it, and it had like black specks and little like mold growing. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
this?
that's so
Why
not,
is this even here?
That's so not what cleanliness is about.
It's the opposite of clean.
Who wants to bathe in mold?
No.
It's not a good place to be. All right, next up, something you'll find behind a bar that starts with the letter T.
Trash can.
Tequila.
Okay, I can go with trash can. Yeah, tequila works. A lot of things. Tanqueray, tonic.
I thought you were going to say L again. I was ready for it.
Okay, I think everybody's got a point here.
Okay.
You guys are equally quick today. Okay, next up, a type of cola that starts with the letter S.
Shasta!
Oh, Bird, he knows cheap colas.
You had that one locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did.
you can't beat him on cheap cola.
Yeah, he did. Wow. Okay, next up, think fast. A city in Texas that starts with the letter H.
Houston.
Who are you going to go with on that, Suits? Bird. He's going to go with Bird.
Wow.
Ooh.
Bird goes up 2. All righty. Let's see here. Jaybird, all you got to do is get one more. Okay. Next up, it's a type of nut that starts with the letter C.
Cashew.
Oh,
Virginia is out.
the witch, fly away, big old witch.
Okay. Next up, something you'll find on a car that starts with the letter W.
Wipers.
Oh, Denny's ties it up.
I couldn't think of anything else.
I know nothing about cars. Colas now. That's my jam.
Window?
Window.
It's so obvious.
Dang it. You're the one that does the window endorsements. It's not top of mind for me.
Okay, whoever gets this is our winner and Think Fast here today.
Good luck, mijo.
Oh, yes. Good luck to you as well.
Hair versus hair. Both of you got bushy hair these days. Look at that. I mean, wow.
It is.
Is KVJ TV up or no?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Good. Because that hair belongs on KVJ TV.
It's looking fantastic.
Not today. It looks pretty rough today.
Okay, here you go. Final one in Think Fast. Something you would find on a farm that starts with the letter T.
Turkey!
On a turkey farm, I guess we could go that.
Turkey wins it.
Tractor?
Tractor. Jeez.
How come you guys got dumb right when I left the game?
All right, coming up here in just a couple of minutes, Jaybird thinks he has pulsatile tinnitus.
What?
Oh, yeah. I diagnosed myself. I got it.
Is that something in your penis?
Oh, boy. That'd be kind of tough if it is. Virginia, apparently Jaybird's got pulsatile tinnitus.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen a doctor about it?
I have not.
Dr. Bird.
Yeah, Dr. Bird, Dr. MD now. Or
Yeah, you just diagnosed yourself off of WebMD.
WebMD. That's what I meant. I always get those two confused.
MD
Dr.
Now
MD
is
never.
my sponsor.
MD now, never, yeah. Yes, WebMD.
WebMD. They say don't go on that.
I know, but here's the thing. I think it's right. I actually think the diagnosis that I looked up is completely accurate.
Okay. Now, what exactly is going on, and then what did it say to you? What was the specifics?
In my left ear, there is this almost like this constant drum beat. It's very subtle, and you can hear it. And the best way I can describe it, it just sounds like there's like a little drum going off into your ear, and the only way for
Little drummer boy?
like a little drummer boy inside my ear, and the only way for me to get any kind of relief when this comes on, I have to put my headphones in there and have some kind of noise to cancel it out, and then eventually it will subside. But it'll kind of keep me up sometimes. And I looked into it. I have all the symptoms of whatever Kevin said it's called. I can't say it. It's too hard.
Pulsatile tinnitus.
Tinnitus in the eardrum.
Oh, boy.
How do you treat it?
That was the kind of scary thing, was they said that a lot of times it just has to either go away naturally or there's not really a cure for it. You can do some things with the doctor, but it's not always guaranteed it's going to go away. And then there was also talks about it's kind of a dangerous thing to, I don't know. I started going down that rabbit hole, and I might have read too much.
Is it your blood pumping? Is that the sound you're hearing?
It kind of sounds like that, but it's inside your eardrum. So you're laying down, and you just all of a sudden you're.
So I was reading something just so odd that you're talking about this. I was reading this article over the weekend about this guy who was in really good physical shape, but he would hear that in his ear all the time. And it was actually an early indicator of him having a severe heart problem.
There it is.
There you go.
There's that depressing, alarming comment that I wanted.
And he thought...
If you think WebMD's alarming, wait till you get to Web Virginia.
Oh, believe me, if you didn't...
MD.
Of course I knew she was going to bring this up. I knew she was going to bring something...
This guy thought, I'm an athlete. Just the sound of my blood pumping in my ears is a normal thing. And he went to the doctor just to be careful and be cautious. And they said he was days away from having a heart attack.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, good news is I've been having this for a good month or so.
Dead man walking.
I had a buddy of mine, Bobby Lee Simmons. He had that kind of like thing in his ear. A little dum dum dum. 2 days later, his foot fell off.
Foot fell off, Bird. You know how hard it is to walk?
My goodness, these stories really are uplifting my spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what is worse, going on the internet to diagnose yourself or just going to Virginia, because it's always going to be the worst case scenario.
I'm just telling you, I just over the weekend read this story about the guy, da-dunk in his ear.
As depressing as WebMD is, I think Virginia MD could trump it every time. She could make it worse.
You're just as bad as the people on social media. Remember when I donated my kidney to my great friend Jim Romano?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bird, I wouldn't do that. People die donating kidneys. You're gonna die. I'm like, I'll be fine, guys. I'll be fine. Thank you. Worst case scenario.
Right.
Good Lord.
It's how the world's divided, man.
It is. Positive, negative. There ain't nothing in the middle anymore.
It's not.
Where's the middle at?
It's disappeared. It's gone. That actually was kind of the theme on a new show that is on Netflix. Jaybird texted me about it yesterday, oddly enough, right after a buddy of mine was telling me about it. It's called The Social Dilemma is the name of it. It kind of breaks down social media and the effect that it has on Americans and actually the whole planet and what it's been. And it was a lot of these people that have worked for a lot of the tech giants. You had people from Facebook and from Google and YouTube and Instagram and Pinterest and all those kind of places talking about what they do, how they dial it in. And a lot of these people are former employees who now have left because of the conscience that working for some of those places just kind of set off. And they said, I don't feel good
about manipulating people's minds
it
and
feels,
messing with them.
Yeah, it feels like we've gone a little too far.
Well, they've even kind of tracked it down to a certain year when they start to see kind of a change in society and just people, the way they interact with each other.
Yeah, and there were some alarming trends that really started right as, social media started to pick up that you could see in your kids and things like that, and the numbers on it are pretty crazy. It's called The Social Dilemma, and it's on Netflix.
I really, really liked it because a lot of the things they were talking about, I feel the same way. Now, there's going to be some parts where people are going to say, this is politically motivated when they start talking about climate change. At the end, that you'll get people that are going to say, "Oh, it's not hard to say." But yeah, there's some really good points in this documentary.
Yeah, there's some interesting things with it. I'll kind of get a little bit of the breakdown. If you're like, I don't have Netflix or I'm not going to watch it, then I'll give you some of the Cliff Notes versions.
I canceled Netflix.
Yeah.
A lot of people canceled Netflix over the weekend.
Right? I did see that. We mentioned that on Friday, and then it really seemed to take off. I didn't realize because I haven't delved deep. Is it Cuties? Is that the name of the thing? Yeah, I haven't delved deep into it, but I did start to see after we had just mentioned it. I just kind of told you what people were having an issue with on it. And it did seem like there was a lot of thunder.
I saw some action. Some moms I know were canceling Netflix over the weekend.
Really?
Kevin, it's become politically motivated. It really has. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting because that's kind of our running joke because everything's politically motivated. But, this social dilemma kind of goes to that and says that it is really, when you put it through the social media filter, it's making everything politically motivated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of the way it is.
They got us.
And I know some of you are going to be going, well, we just got to get through the presidential election, but I think they're saying no, it's something that is just part of it will be here in 6 months. It will be here in 2 years. It will be here in 5 years.
It runs deep.
If we don't change the model in which we have for our social media platforms right now. So some fascinating stuff we'll get to coming up here on the KVJ Show.
Check out KVJ TV on YouTube or just log on to kvjshow.com to watch the show now. Powered by Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Now, back to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Heard about a interesting documentary that they have on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. And basically, if you have kids or if you do anything with social media, I think it's an interesting watch for everybody. A lot of the stuff, yeah, I was already kind of aware of it and the concepts of it, but it's interesting just how they put it because it's a lot of designers from your biggest social media sites. You can pretty much just go all of them, and they've got somebody that has worked at one of those places. In fact, some of them were the people that have designed, like they had the guy that designed the like button. You know, and he was on there talking about, hey, when we first did that, we thought all it was going to do was spread joy. And, you know, a lot of these creators that are part of it, and you say, why would they bite the hand that feeds them? Well, it's because they created something and they didn't realize how it was going to impact people. And they said, you know, a big part of the problem, and to really cut to the chase of what the social dilemma is all about, is it's the business model of it. And how they said, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. And how they're just leveraging your time and attention. And that's all they're trying to do. And they're selling that as a commodity.
Gotcha.
And how they really tap into the psychology of it. At a lot of these schools like Stanford, they have classes on things that, because humans are wired a certain way. We can't help ourselves. We're just biologically wired to do certain things. And they started combining psychology with technology to keep you wrapped into these devices. And now these devices are being used intentionally in bad ways. And you can see a lot of that on the news and just everything you're seeing with the divisiveness that is happening on planet Earth. And it's not just this country, it's everywhere, because now people are intentionally using that to take people down a bad path.
They were saying anxiety and depression is skyrocketing, not only with teenagers, but with adults as well. We're not designed to get constant feedback about stuff about your personality so quickly. Think about when the news first came around or when the newspaper came around. All of that stuff was a gradual change in society, and eventually people caught up with that. With social media, it's happening so quickly, and you're getting so much feedback. And what I thought was eye-opening, they show a part where, you know, this girl puts up a picture and she doesn't get any likes on there. And then she puts up another picture. She deletes that picture, puts up another one, spends all this time putting filters on there. And she starts getting all these likes and comments. And it shows this dopamine, you know, effect. Oh, she's getting this dopamine rush. And then the negative comments start coming in. And it's, you know, this 14-year-old girl, your ears are too big. She starts looking into the mirror and beating herself up because she's getting the negative comments. And it's happening so quickly. And, you know, we're not designed for that.
Well, and the other thing we're not designed for, too, is growing up, humans would have a tribe of however many people, maybe 10, maybe 15. We're not used to take the criticism of a tribe of 10,000, which you can on social media. And that's where the overload comes in. It's the amount of disapproval and how harsh it might be.
You can only hear how badly you're, you know, whatever you're doing, how badly you are at that, or how badly you look, or whatever you're doing wrong. If you keep hearing that over and over again, it's going to affect some people.
Here's some of the clips that was in The Social Dilemma on Netflix.
If something is a tool, it genuinely is just sitting there, waiting patiently. If something is not a tool, it's demanding things from you. It's seducing you. It's manipulating you. It wants things from you.
Yeah, and that's basically the difference between the tools we used to have between the tool that we have now, which is our smartphones.
And the algorithms they do, I mean, it is so designed to get around people that most of the time share your opinion. You're seeing your opinion and people who agree with you a lot because your algorithm is doing that.
And we've moved away from having a tools-based technology environment to an addiction and manipulation-based technology environment.
Okay.
That's what's changed. Social media isn't a tool that's just waiting to be used. It has its own goals, and it has its own means of pursuing them by using your psychology against you.
That was kind of interesting.
It just the way you can spread information now it's just unheard of. We're not ready for it as humans. We think we are, but you're starting to see all of these things happen, like depression, anxiety, go through the roof, and they don't think they can put the genie back in the bottle.
Well, I think what they're saying is you just need to change the platform of social media. I mean, there are a lot of positives, but once it got monetized and you started trying to monetize people's time and attention, that's where things started to get a little bit bad. And now people have used that. You know, for instance, you hear about other governments hacking. They said, well, nobody really hacked. They went in and used just the tools that you can already purchase off of Facebook to go in there and say, I can find 10 people that believe that the earth is flat. And I can go in there and start targeting that group. And then I can feed them some bad information. And then that information starts to spread exponentially. And then you use people like that.
And this show, it's called The Social Dilemma.
The Social Dilemma.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Would it be good for Magnolia?
I think teenagers absolutely should watch it because I think when it comes to, we're adults, we're in the public eye, we can take criticism that kind of goes with it. But as a teenager and as an adolescent, it's really tough. I think you're at an emotional state. You're still developing your mind. Things really can rock your psyche, especially if it's stuff about how you look and you're stupid looking or your nose is too big or your ears are weird looking. That's going to affect your psyche and that's going to affect your self-confidence. And I think collectively that affects our culture.
Yeah. Plus, they also have some tips on there about what you can do with kids. And that was limiting screen time. They said, actually asking them, how long should you be on for? And they said, kids will actually give you a pretty good estimate. You'd be surprised. And then making sure that you're getting the devices out of the rooms at certain times and then limiting them. And then they said that a lot of the people who are in the tech industry, they don't let their kids on social media platforms ever or until they're at least in high school, about 16.
Really?
Yeah.
I know I don't have kids, but I don't, if I did, I don't think I'd allow my kids to have social media until they were older.
So those are all some of the interesting things that came out of the Social Dilemma on Netflix. So if anybody's seen it, you got any thoughts on it, you can share with us. 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Coming up at the KVJ Show. Yeah, it is KVJ Show. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, our own little social media version of Call 'em Out's going to be coming up here. You can get those into us. 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Talking about this show that they had on Netflix. It was called The Social Dilemma, and it's on there. It's one of the top trending shows that is there, and they were talking a little bit about social media and the effects that it has on people. And I think what is really interesting is in the era of news and fake news. And, I found this documentary mimicking a lot of things that I've said here on the KVJ Show, where it's like, I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what's true. I don't know why is everybody to the right or the left? What happened to the middle? And it addresses all those kind of things that I have said time and time again and gives you an answer for it. In fact, this is kind of one of the explanations to all those things I just said.
Over time, you have the false sense that everyone agrees with you because everyone in your newsfeed sounds just like you. And that once you're in that state, it turns out you're easily manipulated. The same way you would be manipulated by a magician.
And they're talking about card tricks. A magician, when he knows the card you're going to pick, he's basically led you into that. And they said they're using it the same way. And you see that they talked a lot about how people are polarized about coronavirus. And they are so solid on their position. And the reason being is because all they're getting in their news feed is things that are backing up what they already believe. And all the comments are like that. So they're like, well, the whole world believes this. So if you don't believe the way my news feed reads and the way my friends talk, then you're completely wrong and you've lost your mind and you're out of touch. But they're on the other side getting the same kind of information on their news feed, talking to their friends, and that's why the center is disappearing and everybody is going to the right and the left. Social media is really driving that.
The other thing that's suspect to me too, so on our personal page, you can have up to 5,000 people there. And we
Facebook.
On Facebook, you can have 5,000 people out there. So when I go onto my Facebook, I swear to you, it's just the same 20 people in my feed. I can never, but if Virginia never comes up in my feed, so I have to go to your social media it would appear that you haven't posted anything in weeks, but you posted something 10 minutes ago. Why aren't you in my feed?
Weird.
Makes no sense to me.
Well, it's because the algorithms are set up that they feed you what they know is going to keep you engaged. And they know, for instance, if you like a certain opinion, they're going to feed you that stuff that feeds into that opinion because you're just reinforcing how you feel. You aren't going to engage with maybe a story that has a headline that is against how you already feel. So you're just trying to, in a sense, go on ahead and you're trying to meld all the facts to your emotions rather than the other way around. And that's one of the problems that we have. We try to get the facts to fit our emotions instead of getting our emotions to fit the facts. And that's the problem we have in society.
I said it a long time ago. Social media is the devil.
Dang.
Well, they were saying that, you can change it. You just got to change the business model of it because you can get great information. They said one of the remedies for that is even people that had worked on these social media platforms say, I will try to follow people who have a different opinion than me. I don't ever use Facebook, hardly anymore. I never go on Facebook. I mainly use Twitter, but to that point, I am following people of all different opinions. I've got conservative to extremely liberal and everywhere in between.
Me too.
And I try to do my best to read, especially when there's something I'm like, well, that seems to contradict how I feel and believe. Let me read that to hear what they say, because maybe it will shed some light on my opinions and my emotions and be like, wow, okay, that's a totally different side of it.
No, Kevin, that's going to require compromise, listening, patience. I don't know.
I think it starts with the awareness of what we're being fed and how we're being manipulated, and realize that a lot of your very strong opinions, your opinions are where they are because you've been manipulated to that point. And that's what a lot of us have to realize. And that's why the social dilemma I thought was interesting and eye-opening, and for all ages. You asked about Magnolia, teenager, good for her, all the way up to anybody birth to death basically could get something out of that.
I'm going to make her watch it with me because I'm very curious, and I do worry about that a lot. She constantly has a device. Constantly. If you see Mags, I bet you $100 she's got her phone.
Look, I bash social media a lot. There's good things about social media, but there's some evil trappings of social media that can really screw you up.
Yeah.
And kids, like you were saying, their brains aren't ready to handle a lot of the heavy of social media.
Think about when you were a teenager.
Oh.
If one person said a comment to you that got you all,
Sure. Yeah.
that was a week full of drama. Imagine 20 kids, 30 kids. A lot of times there are adults on the internet trolling people, being a complete douchebag.
You're right.
So I think you just have to have an awareness of it and realize what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep you on the device. They're trying to keep you engaged, and then they're trying to throw an ad at you. And that is really what social media is. And you have to have that awareness and be also aware and mindful of how it's shaping your opinions. And if you notice yourself getting more angry and more really entrenched on one side, the truth usually is in the middle.
The other thing too, I think people can disconnect by being connected on social media. That's the one thing that they touch upon too. You could be so involved in your social media where real life don't matter no more.
I've noticed too, like some people, and I have followed these same people for many, many years, and I used to enjoy looking at what they post, but now they're so angry about whatever their political positions are. It's like they just spew anger a lot, and I'm just like, wow, I feel like they've changed how they post.
Well, anger is a tool you can use to invoke emotion, but it can also be overused as well. And then you're just angry.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And they realize that you're getting emotional, so they want to send you content that will get you emotional because it'll keep you engaged.
Emotions get clicks, baby.
Fascinating. I can't wait to watch this now.
Yeah.
Someone will call it me and Kevin. Worst documentary ever. You two Republicrats.
What am I?
A Republicrat.
I'm a Demican.
Is that real?
You're a Democrat. I'm a Republicrat. He's a Demican.
We do have kind of our own version of this, trying to help shape people in society being aware sometimes. And sometimes we go through life with the blinders on and we don't aware we're actually being rude. Got an email here. Somebody said, yeah, I had a quick little column out. This took place in the Doral Office Depot right next to Walmart. This girl was in the store without a mask because of her RBF, resting bitch face. The employees didn't say anything to her, so she was just walking around and it appeared that I was looking for the same item as her. We kept running into each other.
Oh, that's awful.
So in every aisle she went, I went right after her, and she had ripped out so many of the packages of paper, the printable sticker paper I was looking for, and she was touching every single one, over 15 of them in one aisle. What a bee. If this was you, lady, not cool, you are trash. Okay. Strong language. Yeah, so there you go. So that's just it. I think, too, with the social dilemma, a lot of us have forgotten that we're all humans. You know, because we've just looked at people like they're an emoji or an icon or something like that, and they're not. There are feelings, and there's a true flesh and blood there.
Just because you send it and it's typed up and it's not face-to-face, you can still hurt people's feelings and make them feel depressed.
Absolutely. It's very true. It's very true. So, you know, to be courteous and to be mindful, I realize that our social media is not put us all set at the same level when it comes to coronavirus, but just be understanding. There are a lot of people who feel differently about it than you, and try to be, you know, understanding for them.
Well, we can listen and we can absorb what other people think.
Yeah.
And then we can either, say it quietly in your head. I don't agree with them. You don't have to fight.
Yeah, shut up, witch. You're wrong.
You don't have to scream at them and call them every name in the book.
Nah, you're wrong, witch. Do another stupid nerd.
Oh, I will. Oh, this one will be stupider than the first two.
I thought this was kind of good, and this was something from social media, I believe, a Reddit thread. Etiquette everybody should follow. And this is kind of good for a call them out, because there are some basics, and that's what call them out is all about, is about some of the etiquette we should be following in society. It says in some of the suggestions, put your phone down when talking to someone.
Oh, there's nothing more annoying when you're trying to talk and get someone's attention. You're trying to just express your opinion, and they're like, oh, I'm texting, hold on. And it's usually something that's not anything important.
That's part of the social dilemma they show, is just how, people are like these zombies, that they're just sucked into their phones. Clear the microwave timer when you're done. Basic, but yeah.
Oh, I always do that.
But I also think people that complain and get so upset, hit a button, hit clear, and then the world still goes around and around. Let's not get too upset about it.
Well, the timer is the clock. You can't leave it on there as something else, or you'll walk up and be all confused in my house.
I did miss an appointment one time because somebody stopped their food at 3 minutes and 23 seconds. I thought it was 3:23, and I thought I had two. They're like, and my excuse sounded so terrible.
Whatever.
I'm like, somebody stopped the clock on the microwave. And
oh,
like,
you don't have an iPhone?
That would totally happen to me.
It did
so
happen
I
to me.
clear it every time.
Mm-hmm. Stop ghosting people. Just tell somebody how you really feel. It doesn't have to be a super long explanation or anything like that.
When you tell people how they really feel, that doesn't always go so sweet either, though.
They say when exiting a tight space, such as an elevator or a single doorway, let everybody exit or get off before getting on.
How about this one for an elevator? Stop farting on the elevator. There's an etiquette we could all do.
Whoa, this dude the other day got off the elevator. I got on, and it was, oh my gosh, it was terrible. It's one of the worst I've ever smelled. And then here was the problem. The floor, I was getting ready to get off in the lobby floor, and I'm like, if somebody goes in, I'm totally getting the blame for that. And it was this building.
There's a person that's on the second floor here. Twice now, he has farted me and Denny's out of an elevator.
Really?
It wasn't audible, but it didn't smell like farts until he got in there. It smelled like farts.
Same guy?
Same guy.
Do you think this is terrorism?
I think it's on purpose. I do.
Yeah.
I think the war on the second floor still goes on, Virginia.
There are some people on the second floor that like us, but there are more people that don't.
This guy, either he's using fart cologne or he knows what he's doing.
He's coming for you.
He's coming for me and Denny's.
This is something you really need to know. If you already think you might be with somebody that could be cheating on you, there are 9 solid signs of cheating.
Uh-oh.
They grow a mustache when they normally don't ever grow a mustache.
Amazingly, that's not one of them.
She looked cute without it.
Mm-hmm. They say the 9 signs are, and it doesn't mention mustaches, but they do say they change their appearance.
And that's kind of what I'm talking about. I remember my mom would always say that growing up. That's how you know someone's cheating. They start to grow longer mustaches. They start to change their appearance. My dad's like,
Really?
my mustache is fine, honey.
So your mom knew.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she was
She
locked
knew.
in.
Oh, so locked in.
They're being weird about their phone.
Yes.
Especially if they normally aren't weird about their phone. I mean, if you and Panda, you guys could grab each other's phones, right? And it wouldn't be weird.
He's always been weird about his phone. Always.
Really?
He will not give us the phone, and he keeps like a passcode. He won't get on Life 360. Yeah, he's always been weird about the phone.
I mean, I get it. I work with you. I can only imagine being married to you, so I get it.
If I was suspicious, I'd be in the phone. Just don't worry, I'm not suspicious yet.
Okay. They develop new interests out of the blue. They say is one of the 9 solid signs of cheating.
But what happens if you just want to just better yourself? You know, you just want to get into a new hobby.
That's why I don't think any of these by themselves is anything to be alarmed of. To me, it's how many of these you're seeing.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's just life is patterns, and any pattern change, I think you should just look with a little stank eye.
They seemingly disappear when they leave the house. And you can't really get a straight answer as to where they are or where they've been. They say that's one of the 9 solid signs of cheating.
It's weird. If someone won't tell you where they're going and what they're doing, you're like, well,
That would never fly. It just you can't be that shady. If you are all ambiguous of where you were just at, you're doing something you're up to no good.
Exactly.
You're either throwing me a surprise party or you're cheating on me.
They don't talk about you on social media.
Nah, that's not true. Some people don't have to go on social media and say, look at me every 5 minutes. I'm not one of those people, but I'm saying that those people do exist.
But if you're dating a guy and he won't post anything about you guys, he won't comment on your pictures, like if he is like a ghost where you're concerned on social, that to me is a red flag.
Well, I would think if you're in a serious relationship and if you looked at somebody's Instagram or whatever social platform they use the most, and you would get the impression that the person were single, going back over the course of the relationship, then you might be like, well, that's kind of odd. There's nothing at all that would let you to believe this person's in a relationship.
I sort of disagree with you guys only because I know people who really are, they don't want nothing to do with social media. They don't want their name on there. They don't want their image on there. They want nothing, and they're in a loving relationship.
Well, I'm talking about people that are posting, but they're not posting about you. So they're posting a lot.
They're posting other stuff.
But it's like me shirtless at the beach, and I look great. I'm with the bros. I'm at the bar. It looks like I've got a very active life. I'm doing all these kind of things. So I'm posting frequently.
But never anything about your long-term girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah, then he's shady.
Yeah.
Or she is shady. It's not always about a man, Virginia.
Well, this case example, Kevin's using's a dude.
Is that it? This is odd. And again, it's none of these by themselves, but this is what they say is one of the 9 solid signs of cheating. They're suddenly super nice. What?
This list sounds
What?
weird.
They're suddenly super nice? Is this just because they have
They're
a guilty
happy.
conscience?
They're happy.
What happens if someone just wants to,
Right.
turn a new leaf? They want a new hobby. They want to start being nice. They shave off their mustache.
Yeah. All of a sudden you look suspicious. Maybe it's the word suddenly. They never were that nice before, and now just out of nowhere, they're suddenly super nice.
Pattern changes.
Why are you with a jerk anyway for that long?
Another solid sign of cheating, they are constantly accusing you of cheating.
That's real.
That does happen.
They're less interested in sex, and they're listening to this segment with you, and they think it's stupid.
Kevin has no idea what he's talking about.
Oh, Kevin's
This
stupid.
segment's so stupid.
I hate this
I don't
show.
know about this list.
Let's switch the channel, quick.
Okay, got some makeup or breakups for you. Coming out of that, would you stay in this relationship based on what you're hearing here? Okay, first scenario for you. You thought you were savvy with your money, but your quirky new boyfriend takes it to a whole new level. He coupons, Groupons, haggles, and prides himself on never paying full price. Does he impart his thrifty ways upon you? Fortunately, not yet. Could this spell trouble for you down the road? Possibly if you are the complete opposite in the finances spectrum. If you were with somebody that was the exact opposite of the way you are financially, Do you think that could work? And if you're very frugal, that would be somebody who just blows all their money and doesn't pay attention. And then the vice versa would be true. Could you stay in that relationship or would you get out?
My whole thing is, look, you do you, I do me, and just don't make me uncomfortable with how you act in your life. If you're one of those people that are frugal and you know that I'm not going to be frugal when it comes to tipping or something, don't try to throw a $1.50 tip at a restaurant because you know that's going to make me uncomfortable. We can compromise as long as you don't force things on me and I don't force things on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't embarrass me. With your frugalness. The worst, and I have a friend that does this, and I just cringe. Every time we go to dinner, I mean, he's always trying to get something for free, whether it's a round of free drinks or, sending this back and wants to get an extra dessert for free because he had to send something back.
It's obvious.
It's obvious. And to him, it's like a game. And he's keeping tally in his head of what free stuff he got. And in a certain respect, you're like, oh, yeah, he's getting free stuff. But he's working for it, and he looks like a cheapskate.
That's annoying.
It's super annoying because he does it everywhere he goes, and it's just like, I'm so glad I'm not married to that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm talking about people who are horrible tippers. They just, no, $1. You forgot my straw. No, nothing for you. I can't.
I couldn't be with that either.
I'm not like that.
No.
Okay, what about this? Would this be a makeup or a breakup for you? They're really attractive and funny. You got a lot in common, except when it comes to food. You live to eat, and they eat to live. You don't like healthy or fancy food, and that's all they do. They're reluctant to go to a pizza place with you, and if they do, they only get a salad or they'll get nothing at all. Plus, they look miserable the entire time. Is it time to break up? Is that a makeup or a breakup?
Well, Bird, I mean,
I don't care what you eat as long as you're not over there telling me what I gotta eat. Again, you do you.
But while you're eating pizza, they look mad.
I wouldn't be with someone like that. Just you're a miserable person.
So it ain't gonna last.
If you're miserable because we're at a pizza joint and you can't find a salad, like you order whatever you want.
Right.
But if you're visibly like, hey, we're at a pizza parlor and I'm mad, that's not gonna last.
They say 1 out of 7 people say that they would end a relationship if the other person didn't like the same food as them.
But is that person telling, hey, Virginia, you gotta have some of my sushi. Eat my sushi. Are they being a food bully?
I think it just means that they don't connect at all with food.
It is fun to food journey together. Like if you guys like the same stuff, and when you're being healthy, you're healthy together, and when you're cheating together. Like that's fun.
Agreed. But if I was with somebody and I ate pizza 2 days in a row, and they're coming at me with 2 days in a row with Pizza Bird, I don't know about that.
Oh, she's done.
I mean, it's not. I choose pizza over love.
It says here 30% of people say that food is more important to them than sex. 30%.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, no.
Well, food's important to people. It's the one thing we all have to do. Not everyone's got to have sex, but you have to eat.
Is this a makeup or breakup for you? She's gorgeous, yet always fishes for compliments.
Ugh.
She seems really into you, but you notice she seems to really need attention from other men. There are so many great qualities about this girl, but you also see a real insecurity there. Should you run for the hills?
Bird is running from the hills with a pizza.
Yeah. You're out, huh?
That's exhausting.
Well, you can't go into the hills with no food. So, yeah, you got to take a pizza.
Someone that's got to constantly let you know how everyone thinks they're hot every time someone hits on them and just how great they are constantly. They're very insecure, and that's exhausting. If you're dating that person, I don't want to do that.
Okay, final one here. Makeup or breakup for you. He's got a big personality, and you notice he tends to dominate most conversations. When you mention you are thinking of going to Hawaii with some girlfriends, he spends the next half hour telling you about his many adventures on the islands without you asking a single question about your plans. If this hasn't gotten old for you already, it definitely will. Would you stay with a person that basically is a one-upper and always makes it about him and tends to dominate all the conversations? Talk about me, talk about me, talk about me.
No, that's too much.
If you got,
I can't. I know girlfriends of mine that are married to dudes like that, and it's exhausting to hear a dude just go on and on and on and on. And like, shut up already.
kind of like hearing a chick go on and on and on about entertainment news, Kevin. It's just like, when is this going to be over? You got a lot of nerve talking about men going on and on.
I can't handle it. Girls can go on and on. Guys can't.
That's insane. And I think if you sit down and talk to, if you like the person and have feelings for them, I think you give them a chance. Let them know, hey, this really bothers me. Let's try to work on that. And if they don't, then you
got to get out. Okay, I got you.
More KVJ Show right now on 97.9 WRMF.
Well, last week on 97.9 WRMF, we were helping you to pay off your bills. If you had a car payment or if you had a cell phone bill for 6 months, we were taking care of that. And now, starting here very soon, we're going to be doing something else to really help you out in life. We kind of were just going down through the list of saying, okay, what could we do next after we pay people's bills? And the thing that we landed on was food. Now, there is a lot of things in life that we can do without, but food is definitely not one of those things. We got a chance for you to feed your family with the KVJ Workday Grocery Giveaway. So simple for you to go on ahead and win. We're going to give you a week to go sign up. You can just go to 979WRMF.com. Go to WRMF.com. You can go on there. You'll see where to sign up for the KVJ Workday Grocery Giveaway. And then you're going to be listening starting next Monday, 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. We're going to call your name, and when you hear it, you got 10 minutes to call us back. If you do, then you get $200 in free groceries.
Woohoo!
$200?
Yeah. Imagine what you do with $200. What do you go for first, Jaybird?
Oh, in the grocery store?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, 200 bones. I'm going to stay in the middle. And I'm gonna stay by the hot case section. Those are my cuts.
Okay.
So much hand pie.
Yeah.
I love a frozen food section.
But for us to call your name, we got to know what it is. So you have to go to WRMF.com right now to go sign up for the KVJ Workday Grocery Giveaway. Going to be starting next Monday. Or coming up here real quick. I think in a couple Mondays. Maybe the 28th. Sorry. So we got 2 weeks to go and sign up. So go do that.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Remember last week I was telling you how there was a lock of Abraham Lincoln's hair that was up for sale?
Yes.
I'm really kind of surprised it went for this amount. You had to take a guess. How much would you pay for a lock of Abraham Lincoln's hair? Now, it also came along with a telegram regarding his assassination. The hair measures about 2 inches long, and it was taken from a post-mortem examination, meaning after his death.
Wow.
This came off of a dead president that took place right after he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth in 1865, and the telegram features a splatter of Lincoln's blood on it.
Oh, my.
How do you know it's authentic, though? You just have to take the word of it?
They have authenticators with a lot of these auctions, and I don't know what it is they do or how they've authenticated it, but yeah, I think that is part of the process. That they do have something to authenticate that it's legit, that you're not buying.
If it's really Abraham Lincoln's bloody hair with that certificate, I'm going to say if I was rich, I'd pay 30 grand for that.
30 grand. Okay. What do you think, Virginia?
I don't know. I'd top out at 10 grand.
Really? Wow. Okay. Apparently, I'd think a lot more of our 16th president. $81,250 is what it went for, and I think that's low.
Okay, good. I thought you were going to tell me it went for like $300 or something.
If it was $300, I would have jumped in on that. I would have. I mean, that would. How amazing is that? Are you serious?
You are going to get people that are going to show up wherever you have it. It's going to be a draw, so that does have a lot of value.
Wow.
So I make that a centerpiece of my living room. There's a light on the hair with a certificate, a picture of Lincoln.
My whole house.
I got a little top hat right next to it.
I think my house would be a top hat.
Yeah. I love that idea, by the way.
Yeah.
Top hat house.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
looking.
you.
I'm looking for a house. Man,
Okay.
get some land and build this top hat house you're talking about.
Love it.
You do need to get some land and build your own setup.
I can barely drive to work. Oh yeah, let me go buy land and build a house.
You don't actually build it, you moron. You get somebody to build it exactly to your unique specifications.
Those are unique.
You're a unique guy.
It sounds very affordable and cheap.
Right. Well, Opalaka has repealed an ordinance against saggy pants. Critics are arguing that the law unfairly targeted blacks, and the city commission voted 4-1 during a video conference to repeal that ordinance. Remember, they had the same thing years ago in Riviera Beach. They're trying to get that thing going on.
I remember.
Okay. So now you can wear saggy pants or you can't?
I believe that now you can. They repealed
can.
the law stood for 13 years, with some critics arguing that it was unnecessary from the beginning. The only member to oppose the repeal argued that the law did not target our young black men, but was intended to uplift them or their pants by telling them how to dress.
I think what it is, you can't expose any kind of crack. See what I'm saying? If the coin slot is showing, you got to be going.
Okay, I'm in favor of that. I don't like any kind of butt crack.
Now, the way I've seen the style, where was I? I think it was Atlanta. Atlanta, it is big. Like, they wear that a lot. And it's just, you got the briefs that are out.
But it's no flesh. You don't see any
No,
flesh.
not at
You
all.
see
And
underwear.
yeah.
You'll see underwear. You'll see boxers. Some
Yeah.
members of the snack pack will rock that look.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's
fine
covered.
with that.
And then you wear the jeans come down a lot of times below the butt even. The way I saw it in Atlanta, they're rocking, and they have a belt that, kind of keeps it. But I notice a lot, they're always holding on to their pants if they got to pick up the pace.
My pants do that because I ain't got no booty. I got a pancake ass.
Yeah, well, you
She
ride
got a long back.
with this, you ride them below that flat behind.
I need very tight belts to keep this thing on.
They say here a guy in Pennsylvania got arrested for throwing frozen pizzas at a grocery store manager who asked him to put on a face mask. That'd be a good weapon, though. You could throw it just like a discus.
You throw a pizza at me, I laugh at you.
You're like, thanks.
Bring it on.
A woman in Taiwan was furious when she wasn't allowed to bring her cat into a gym.
Lady, get the hell out of
I
here.
totally stand with the gym. That's a rare thing for me to ever do.
You can't bring your cat in here. Some of us are allergic, you dope.
But she's got emotional issues, Virginia.
So her stance and remedy, she stripped naked and started working out.
Okay, I'm a fan.
She seems like she's
stable.
got it together here.
Okay, interesting move.
She sounds fun.
A 22-year-old woman in Slovenia was busted for intentionally cutting off her left hand for the insurance money. How far would you go?
She cut off her own left hand?
It's insane, but slightly impressive.
I mean, it's
the commitment
it is,
level.
oddly enough. Yeah, the commitment level is amazing. Unfortunately, it didn't go through. She was busted, spent 2 years in prison, and it all fell apart, and she lost her hand.
She never got the money?
Nope.
Or the hand back.
I mean, she got the money, I think, initially, but they figured out it was fraud, take it back, then throw her in prison.
Damn.
I would just like to know how long she thought about cutting her hand off. Was it just a split decision, or was this a whole weekend thinking about, I'm going to cut my hand off?
How many hours you spent?
Yes.
Because you would think that should be a big decision, not something that you would decide just like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't flip a coin even.
No.
Yeah.
Man, you are next level, chick.
Heads or hands.
Imagine dating her.
Oh my gosh.
That's
don't.
amazing. Yeah.
She scares me.
Interesting marketing strategy here, kind of like this. It is Pride Week in Finland. So Burger King is running an ad there that shows the Burger King making out with Ronald McDonald. How about that pairing, huh?
Did not see that one coming.
I would love to see Burger King and McDonald's join forces and make a McDonald's Burger King burger.
I think we'd all root for it, right?
Hell
You get it
yes.
both places? Why not?
That would be massive, I
That
think.
would be.
It might
That would-
bring more unity to the world.
That's what we need.
That would,
Yeah.
I think that would be such a successful campaign if Burger King and McDonald's would do that. They won't.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. They should.
There's two people that have filed a class action lawsuit against Anheuser-Busch since their Bud Light Lime-A-Rita doesn't contain any tequila. I feel like if you're going to call it a Lime-A-Rita, it's got to have some tequila in it. Where's the Rita part?
Yeah, I see what they're saying, but I mean, it's a malt beverage. I mean, you're not getting a real margarita.
And it's the flavor of the margarita, yeah. God, people.
I mean, come on, guys. This is how we spend our time.
That doesn't feel like it should win.
No, it doesn't.
If nothing better to do.
Yeah. There was a guy who was impersonating a cop in Castleberry, Florida that got arrested after he tried to actually pull over a real off-duty cop. Whoops.
This happens a lot.
It does. Big dummy. And a registered sex offender in Missouri got busted for pleasuring himself in an alley. When they caught him, he said he didn't think it was wrong because he does it all the time.
Oh, my.
And who says alleys aren't creepy? Oh, my gosh. Could he pick the most creepiest place to do it? In the alley.
One of 300 reasons why I don't walk down alleys.
Thank you.
There you go. And that is your whacked out news.
This is 97.9 WRMF, Palm Beach.
Got an email here from somebody who want to know how they can recover after a failed coworker date proposal.
Oh, boy. You may have to quit.
I did this in college. Ooh, right when the class started, me and this girl started talking. It didn't work out with like 3 weeks in, and then the whole semester you have to
keep seeing them.
We were in the same work group together. It was uncomfortable.
This email says, some months ago, this new person came to my workplace, and I ended up developing a huge crush on her. I find her so funny and beautiful. We get along really great, too. She laughs at my jokes. She became a friend quickly, and I loved every minute of it. I had this dumb idea of asking her out, and she quickly said, oh, yeah, you know what? I'm not interested. Okay, all good. I've been rejected before. No problems there. The thing is now it's become really awkward at work. We see each other 5 times a week, 8 hours a day in a very small space. She's now become cold and silent. And in a way, I think she feels threatened by me or something.
Oh, no.
I'm so afraid that she's going to hit me with a hashtag #MeToo. All I did was say, I've got a bit of a crush on you and I'd love to take you out for dinner. As soon as she said no, I immediately backed off and I said, okay, I'm sorry if that was weird. Now, if you were her, what would you want me to do? Excuse myself? Apology? Don't talk to her except for greetings? Ignore her completely? I feel like a predator now, but I also feel like I didn't do anything wrong. What do you all think I should do?
Oh, this just sucks because you came into it with the best of intentions and you weren't trying to be creepy, but now it's just made it so uncomfortable.
Well, just because you ask somebody out doesn't make you a creepy person.
No, it really doesn't. And the fact that she's treating him like he's creepy makes me sad for him.
You know, it doesn't mean that she thinks you're creepy. She could just be uncomfortable. Because anytime you have to reject somebody or you get rejected, it's weird. It's awkward. You guys are laughing, having fun. Now he wants to take it to a different level you don't want to take it to. It's going to be a little bit weird. Personally, I would call it out.
Yeah.
I would, but
say, hey, look, I've moved past it. Let's just go back to the way it was. Forget I ever said that.
Look, I asked you out. I probably shouldn't have asked you out. Let's not make it weird. Let's get back to laughing. I apologize. But I wouldn't ignore it because you guys were cool for a while.
Yeah, I mean, and two, you might want to start a new relationship and let her see you happy with somebody else so that you're not dwelling on her.
Fake a girlfriend.
If she thinks that you are still...
Seems like a good strategy.
...pining for her. Okay, you get a fake girlfriend.
Get a fake picture. Yeah. Get one of your sister's friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hire a model to wait for you in a really nice car outside of work and pick you up.
It's a lot of work, but it's worth every penny.
Just change your whole life around with this big lie. It'll be fine.
There's your solution.
Solved. But he's scared because I know a lot of dudes are scared to ask out coworkers because of the whole #MeToo thing.
Just be careful. You want to really try to make sure she's interested before you throw it out there. If you're going to disrupt the whole work environment, there's ways to fish before you actually throw your line in.
Yeah. She's very right about that. But what happens if you do fish, you find out she's single, you think that, I got this connection with this girl, guy or girl, doesn't matter. And then they reject you again.
That can happen too.
Does.
Just make sure you do all your work on the front end and know like 90% sure that she's going to be into it before you do it. Because if you do it and then it blows up like this, now it's awkward at work and you just feel weird.
And we've talked about these kind of topics before. And people calling, never ever ask anyone out that you work with, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, good luck with that.
That's just
people
it.
are always banging that work together.
Those are Twitter people. Those are people that are on social media say, don't do this and don't do that. It's not practical. People who work together end up getting together sometimes.
In the office closet.
It just happens. There's people that we've known that they met through work and are married and have kids now. So you can't say every situation is going to be creepy because it's not.
Yeah. Just trying to be creepy when you do it, I guess.
It's creepy when the girl's not attracted to you.
Okay, so you've asked somebody out at work and they turned you down. Now you got to continue to work with them. That's tough. Somebody said, hadn't this guy ever heard the famous adage, you don't poo where you eat, saying? Yes.
Again, though, that's not that's you're living in absolutes, and only a Sith lives in absolutes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I mean, the analogy is kind of stupid. Poo where you eat. It has nothing to do with dating someone where you work.
Every situation is going to be different. There are going to be so many people who don't crap where you work, man. Aren't you so dumb? And then there are going to be other people that call in. I met my wife when we were 19. We've been together for 30 years. Our
People
children
are going to date at work.
Get over it.
It's a part of life.
Now, we are against people being creepy at work and sexual harassment. We're against that.
Right.
Yeah, and he had said something too. He's like, did I step into a hashtag Me Too situation? And I guess every company's probably going to be different, and the person you asked out might push the issue. But for me, for the most part, I mean, hashtag Me Too is an inappropriate situation, right? And I mean, if you're just telling somebody, hey, I'd like to see if you'd hang out sometime.
You're right. But if you go on Twitter, there'll be people that say, lock him up. He is a pervert. He needs to be in jail.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
And
on
they
Twitter,
would put that under a hashtag Me Too umbrella?
in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I don't get the world.
Kevin, you are just not plugged into what it's like to be a woman.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
your average person is not going to make this a big deal, but there are absolutely people on social media that would call this a hashtag Me Too and try to bring him down or her down, or anybody that does this.
Somebody said, yeah, if the dude did say to her that he has a crush on her, that just kind of looks bad. Use different words. Maybe it's not necessarily what you did, but the approach with how you did it.
Yeah, you have to gingerly start testing the waters on that one.
And everyone knows the answer after the fact. You know what I mean? It's easy to sit on the sideline and say, you should have done it this way.
It is. It's so easy.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the insight. You can either jump into the KVJ TV chat room. That is up and cranking again because we're back in the studio. You can watch us on YouTube and comment there. You can always text 877-979-WRMF. Well, did anybody go out to a restaurant and eat over the weekend? You guys, anybody set there? I went out twice, actually.
I'm not at all against it. It just didn't work out for me, but I'm looking to get into the restaurants.
Okay. Yeah, the Queen and I, we went to Hooters on Friday, and then yesterday we went out and got some Dr. Limon.
Oh,
Good little ceviche. It's amazing. Loved it. Had a great time both places.
You're a man about the town. You like going out.
We always did, and it's, we're slowly getting, back out a little bit and kind of going out there and trying to, throw some money around.
Let me know if you need a third wheel.
Okay. You ready to go out, huh?
I'm ready.
Yeah, it's just kind of interesting where everybody is set to see where things are going. You've got pretty much everything going into phase 2 today in the state of Florida, and at least here in South Florida, except for the bars. They're the ones that aren't allowed to go into phase 2. But restaurants can have indoor seating at 50% of capacity and 100% outside. And it's been nice, especially if you're in West Palm Beach. You see they've, Calamatistry, they're getting that place done. They've redone the whole street and the sidewalks where there's really no curb anymore, and the street is the sidewalk.
I love that.
Good timing for that too, for places that are looking, to do that. So I thought that was really cool. But, I was just kind of, wondering where people were set. I mean, I was talking about this on Friday from that new study from the CDC. They found that people who tested positive for COVID-19 were twice as likely to have eaten at a restaurant within the previous 2 weeks than people who tested negative, according to them. And that came out the same day that the Kaiser Family Foundation found that the public's trust in the CDC is rapidly eroding.
Where are you set at, Kev, when it comes to the CDC? Do you trust them?
I don't know who to trust, to be honest with you. I kind of just, try to look at the numbers. I look at everything and try to see what's going on. But yeah, that's kind of like what we were talking about earlier with the social dilemma is I don't necessarily know who to believe. So
I mean, I want to trust the official people that are dealing with the health. You want to be able to trust that.
Yeah.
And if they make a mistake and they have given out wrong information, just own it and say, we were wrong about this or we were wrong about that. I think people would be more likely to get back into the good graces if you just let them know what's happening. Because it's a pandemic. We know that,
We've never had this before, but nobody's saying that. Like when they're telling you all these rules and stuff, they're not prefacing any of it with, guys, we don't really know what we're doing. We're learning as we go.
Yeah.
And every town is different.
You can go to a restaurant, but you can't go to a bar. What? Okay.
Well, wait, this restaurant turns into a bar.
I'm set where I am because I'm trying to look at as much information, both sides, everything is possible. I'm looking at the case, the percent positive. I'm looking at the hospitalizations. And then I'm trying to get a little bit of, when I see the death numbers, I'm trying to be like, okay, why is that number where it is? And who is it that's dying and what's the circumstances behind it? So I'm trying to put all that together to set myself. But hopefully I got some antibodies now. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, I just read an article about how the antibodies don't really matter.
Yeah, if anybody's going to get it twice, it's going to be you.
Probably.
You probably got it right now. No,
Probably.
Just kidding.
Want to make out?
I'm just kidding. Well, that's the only thing I am scared of is just getting a positive test because I don't want to miss work. I don't want to be back at my house and then us trying to figure out how we're going to pipe Jaybird in while you guys are here. That's why I am only nervous, but I also want to go to a restaurant with you. So
okay,
let's do it.
You're torn. Yeah, so
have you been in a restaurant?
I've been in one restaurant since the pandemic hit, and that was about a month and a half ago. And I was kind of taken back that nobody in the restaurant was wearing masks at all.
Really?
At all. In fact, one of the people were when we walked in, like, that's weird. We saw as we were walking in, one of the employees is walking out, and they started smoking right in the front of the restaurant outside. Like, that's an interesting look. Front of the house smoking.
Well, I mean, that's just the thing. When you get into a restaurant, really nobody's going to be wearing the mask because they're eating.
But then you also see videos where people are eating their food and then someone goes up to their table, why don't you have your mask on? Well, because I have a chicken wing in my mouth.
Somebody's doing that?
Oh, yeah. I'll send you the video.
I can't imagine a restaurant would like somebody calling somebody out who's trying to eat with their mask. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, it was another customer calling out another customer.
For not wearing a mask while they're trying to eat?
Yes.
How do you eat with a mask on?
That's exactly what their point was.
Get out of here.
Some people just want to fight too,
just
Kevin.
Get out of here.
They want to put a video up on
what
social
are you doing
media.
Here? I mean, that's what I would tell people. If you're not comfortable going to don't go to a restaurant. But don't yell at everybody. You got to realize that if you go out into the wild, you never know what kind of wildcat you're going to see out there, and you got to just figure, that's it.
But some people are trying to start a fight on purpose.
No, that's stupid.
But this case I'm talking about, the people that were getting harassed, that were eating, they're the ones that were filming. There was an older woman. She was eating with her older husband. She gets up, walks over to the table, and gets in their face. And meanwhile, you look over in the video, and her husband doesn't have a mask on while he's eating.
If I were the restaurant manager, I'd just kick him out. I'd be like, look, you're here to fight. Like, don't bother my customers.
Stop it. You're ruining the peaceful environment.
Right. Just get out. You're clearly not comfortable here, so get out. Yeah, I would. It should be get out. 43% of Americans feel unsafe dining inside of a restaurant. That's where it's set. 43%. 65% are spending more money than ever on takeout meals, which that's good.
I spent a lot of money on takeout over the weekend, and I told myself I was going to get better, and they got me. I don't know. When you do that takeout stuff on the Uber Eats, your final bill is $33. Like, all right, not bad. You hit one more button. How did it go to $75?
They say the average American is ordering 2.4 takeout orders each week and spending an average of $67 per week. Are you above average, Bird?
I am so above average.
Well, when you factor in the free meals he sends to his neighbor that lives in his old address.
Yeah, I did do that.
He sent a whole entire Tex-Mex fiesta to his old apartment, and those people didn't say that it was a problem.
Well, once they drop off the food, because it automatically went to that old address, and I didn't realize it till the food's on the way. So I'm trying to contact them. They go, well, once the food's delivered, it's too late.
Yeah, once those people are already eating your guacamole, you're what we call screwed.
It was past 9 p.m. I'm thinking, I can't go to my old address and go, you guys have my Tex-Mex food.
You guys have my quesadilla in there.
And I did get quesadilla.
And they're sitting there eating it. Nope, we don't got nothing.
Yeah, but you have a quesadilla on your lips.
This is good too. 59% choose to order food from local establishments rather than large chains.
And I usually do. And oh boy, Kevin, on Saturday night, I put up a video that me and Denny's ordered from a corporation. And Jaybird, why on earth would you ever get food from a corporation and not a local mom and pops?
Well, wait, there's local people that work there.
I buy local food all the time. One post and you're on my ass like flies on a... Step off.
And this is kind of cool, too. One of the things that's kind of changed is how easy it is to get to-go booze. 57% of people would like to see alcohol to go as a permanent option post-pandemic. I agree.
Yeah.
And
let's just get rid of open container laws and let's have some fun.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, just be responsible.
It really is quite a wonderful time we live in. All you do is hit a button and whiskey shows up to your door like a magical elf dropped it off.
Yeah. Whiskey fairies.
Like some kind of Easter bunny of booze.
Yeah.
Yes, we live in that's why I do like technology.
About a third of respondents said that they had ordered alcohol to go. How about that?
Yeah, people want to have their space and they want to have their buzz.
You're never gonna. Florida won't do it, I don't think. Open container in the car, that'll never happen. Open container out in public, I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, to me, I'm not, the open container in the car, I'm not an advocate for that, but...
No, I am.
For the passenger, I'm talking about the
passenger,
okay.
yeah. Not for the driver.
No, not for the driver.
Yeah.
I'm strictly anti-drinking and driving, but I don't like to drive. I like to be driven, and I prefer to be drunk.
But if Virginia is drinking, and there's no way she's driving, she's in the back seat, she's got an open container, and there's just adults in the car.
If I'm in the back seat, 90% of the time I got an open container.
Well, on the turnpike, I was shocked that you can't get alcohol in the gas stations. I believe it's the turnpike going up to Orlando. You go in there to get booze for the people that are not driving. They don't sell it.
That's lame.
Not in the gas stations.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Like the rest stops that they have?
Yeah, the rest stops that have the gas stations.
Huh.
Someone will argue with me, but it's true.
Okay. Argue away.
I'm like 93% sure that I'm...
No, you start a cave. Uh-oh.
The confidence is dwindling.
Here it
I haven't
goes.
had to make a retraction yet.
You're like Tom Brady. Started strong, ended weak.
I am 95% sure about this.
All right.
Okay.
You want to bet something on it?
I do. I bet you cannot buy booze on those rest stops at the turnpike. I'm locking her in with confidence. I'll bet whatever you want.
All right. Turnpike peeps, let us know. If he's wrong, we kick him in the shorts. Again.
Okay. And here's why. Because you're going to lay up on me. If you're going to kick me in the nards, go for it.
And I saw this too. I'm betting with a lot of these restaurants. In fact, I saw one that they've got in downtown West Palm, and it looks like they're gearing up, trying to get the construction done and have that thing open because, we're less than 2 months away from season that kicks off here.
Oh, yeah.
And my wife and I are talking about that. I bet every restaurant, they're going to be telling their staff, like, tonight, treat it like this is our Super Bowl. Every night, you got to crush it.
Definitely.
We got to make up for it. They say Florida tourism is going to take up to 3 years to recover from what we've gone through.
That's rough.
Yeah. And that's 13 to 15% of the state's main revenue fund is what we have with travel and tourism. And right now, the unemployment rate's at 11.3% as of July and isn't expected to fall to 6% until April of 2023.
Wow.
But if we keep going to different stages, like I know Palm Beach County is not in stage. Are we stage 2?
Stage 2.
We are stage 2, but I thought there was some things that weren't.
It's stage 2 with an asterisk.
That's what I'm saying. It's not really a stage 2.
They changed the rules after they said they were going to do one thing for the bars.
They did in Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade.
Okay, but massages and all that stuff, massage away.
Don't get a massage in a bar.
I'd go
Which
to that.
sounds kind of fun.
That sounds amazing.
I mean, that really is where it's at.
Buzz with a little massage? Oh, give it to me.
He is all ready to go. All right, anything you want to drop in on us, 877-979-WRMF.
KVJ not only does a radio show, but also does an after-the-show podcast. Watch or listen on kvjshow.com.
Another stat I thought was kind of interesting about the pandemic. They say 2 out of 3 single people on dating apps say that they've lowered their standards because of the pandemic.
You got to get what you can get, Kev.
It says the main reasons are they haven't liked being alone while they were quarantining, and they're getting more worried about finding relationships. So they're going, yeah, I never used to date 4s, but now I will. Oh, yeah. Coming up, we got some good stuff, including the After the Show podcast. Going to talk a little bit more about the Social Dilemma, a cool little show that Jaybird and I watched over the weekend. It is on Netflix, and it's all about social media. But it's kind of interesting, and to me, I think it's a good thing that people should have awareness of, just understanding the algorithms to the point, not to get too scientific, but just how they're using emotions and your own biological hacks that you have, just being a human, to manipulate your behavior. And it explains a lot of the tension, anger. If you look at the world today and be like going, oh my gosh, it's just what is going on? Well, social media is playing a big part in that.
There's a lot of factors working. And I mean, just the fact that social media can spread so quick, better than anything else that we've ever experienced. Quicker, faster.
Yeah, it was just fascinating stuff, and I didn't get to even really scratch the surface of some of the stuff I want to go into. So we'll get to that coming up. Also, if you missed the announcement at 8:30 this morning, the KVJ Workday Grocery Giveaway is going to be happening in 2 weeks. I would encourage you to go sign up right now, though. $200 in free groceries. Go to WRMF.com. Starting on the 28th, 2 weeks from today, we're going to start calling out names, 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m., giving you 10 minutes to call back to get $200 in groceries. And how awesome is that?
$200 in groceries is perfect.
It is. It's the right amount. We always pretty much ding right at that 200 mark.
It's so perfect.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and pay for that for you. So just some of the stuff that has kind of come through. So thank you so much. It's our first day back in studio here today. We had been quarantined to our own homes, and so we were here, and then we had another curveball thrown at us, and we somehow survived, and we had KVJ TV going on, so I apologize for all the little hiccups, but we made it through, y'all.
Yes.
We did it.
I didn't know we were. I almost just walked right back out the door this morning.
We got a few bruises, but yeah, Kevin quit and then came back.
Those bruises are good for our soul.
I walked in, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have come here.
This was a bad idea.
Yeah, but we made it through. So thank you very much, and it's great to have everybody back in the chat room on KVJ TV. You can watch us, and you can also watch the After the Show podcast on YouTube and check it out on Facebook. All right, Jaybird, before we get to that, if you would wrap up today's show with your thought.
I'm glad that you stayed, because this thought's dedicated to you.
Oh, wow. Okay, a dedication.
The soul is stronger than its surroundings.
Wow.
You nailed it.
I like it.
You are stronger than the
soul's
surroundings. You are awesome.
You know what? It made sense until you explained it.
He just had that one. That wasn't for you.
I thought I had it.
He had that one already.
And then after he explained it, I'm like, I don't have it.
There's too much silence after.
Because everybody was trying to figure it out.
Oh, whatever.
No, I had it, and then he explained it. I'm like,
Can we do a new segment, Virginia's negative thought of the day?
it's the whole show, baby.
97.9 WRMF knows 2020 has been tough.
Help me, please.
So we're putting food on your table. It's the KVJ Workday Grocery Giveaway with $200 in free groceries. Tell us when you listen throughout the workday. And then just listen for the KVJ show to call your name. Call us back and win. Let us know when you listen at work now. Sign up at WRMF.com.